Hi, I'm Paul von Polheim, and this is my story.
It was 5 years ago, first Christmas day. That morning I heard like a big banging sound on the kitchen floor. Once, twice, and then I got out of bed and I was seeing my mother laying down flat in the kitchen, and she was like cramping and trying to get air, like heavily breathing, and she didn't know what happened. I was shocked, so I turned her left over. She didn't suffocate, and just immediately called the medics. The thing that kick-started her to go to a neurologist, which made a CT scan of her head, and then she started to go crazy because in that CT scan they found 3 aneurysms, basically like a little bulb in the vein. And they found that out and immediately got her into hospital, where they decided they had to operate one of these because it got too big, just pop and she would die. The result was 2 operations, one 3 hours long and one 7 hours long. With the first one they were going with kind of a drone thing through her veins up in the brain. The other one was more complicated, so they had to cut her up like right here and drill a hole through the skull, and then just looking their way through the open brain, and there was like 7 hours of me not knowing if her being dragged to the operation room was the last time I've ever see her again. In this moment I would never know if I'm going to see my mother again. And that's part of a reason why I don't make too much plans for my life, because I've seen that in a split second it can be over. It can change forever. So 2 years after my mother's nearby death, I went to Norway.
Oliver, that's the expert meeting. Do you think it's good?
I don't know.
But it looks good.
I love to cook, by the way.
I'm the only person in the entire house who cooks properly.
It's okay.
I remember when we were in Norway and we were just eating rice for 3 days. We made a fire and we had like paprika, some meat and some other vegetables, and we just smacked it all together. Just grilled the meat on the stones, punched it all in one pot, and with the rice by it. That was great.
Norway was the changing experience for me in a lot of ways. I wanted to try to do something different. I wanted to push myself. I wanted to explore the world in a way that I knew it would push me to my borders. Before Norway, I was working as a camera assistant in Cologne, Germany, and I got really unhappy with like the job and working as itself. I decided to distance myself from that and really do something just for myself. Cologne is quite a big city. It's like 1.5 million to 2 million people. I just kind of felt myself like one under many, and I wanted to be special, not for others, but for myself. And I wanted to be able to say, all right, I got that. I was in great pain by the heavy backpack, but every moment of all this pain gave me the greatest feeling of freedom I ever had.
I've not been sleeping in a normal bed like 14 days.
Everything could end like right now. I'm just a simple guy. I'm just trying to live by my fullest and experience great things with the people I love. I do not think about death too much, but yeah, it's a possibility and it could happen like every day. Inner peace is something to fight for, basically. Life is not easy. You have to fight your way through certain things to be able to do what you want.
So, das war mal das Zimmer von Paul, meinem geliebten Sohn. Der ist dann immer mal ausgezogen und vor 14 Jahren, als ich hier eingezogen bin, dachte ich schon, wenn der mal aussieht, wird das mein Arbeitszimmer. Das ist natürlich mein selbstgebauter Tisch. Dann habe ich mir hier eine kleine Werkbank hingestellt, die früher in meinem Schlafzimmer stand. Dann habe ich hier 2 Hobel geschenkt bekommen, auch nicht verkehrt, aber die Messer sind leider dermaßen zerstört, dass man die auch in die Tonne kloppen kann. Jetzt habe ich gedacht, man könnte vielleicht die an die Wand bringen. Putsch.
Das ist hier so eine Jacke dann auch.
Genau, als Garderobe.
Das ist total krass.
Ja.
Das ist einfach hart, wie sich so ein Raum verändert, je nachdem, wer da drin halt lebt. Das ist
Also, das ist unser Wohnzimmer, beziehungsweise das ist mein Wohnzimmer, aber es war natürlich vorher auch nicht anders. Hier hat sich eigentlich gar nichts verändert. Nee, ich fand, wir hatten eine gute Zeit hier, ne?
Ja.
Oder? Ja, jetzt filmst du aber bitte nicht auf dem Boden, sondern noch oben, weil sonst ist die Scheiße da.
Also Stunden um Stunden habe ich hier ja gekocht. Also ich habe ja hier habe ich ja wirklich kochen gelernt. Also das hat mich ja auch,
Ja.
das ist ja mega viel. Wir haben hier schon echt gut gezaubert.
Ja.
Weißt du, als mir mal langweilig war und ich habe gesagt, Mama, gib mir Geld, dann hole ich ein Hühnchen und ich mache uns Hühnchen und Romatop. Ja. Hier 3 Stunden in der Küche gestanden, mitten unter der Woche, mittwochs irgendwann nach der Arbeit. 3 Stunden, um 23 Uhr gab es Essen, also habe schon Kohldampf bis unter die Decke.
Ja, der Tisch zum
Abend
Beispiel
noch
war mal
gesessen.
eine Werkbank von 1910 ist der und die habe ich abgehobelt. Da war ich mit dir schwanger. Das fandst du gar nicht gut, weil das so gerüttelt hat im Bauch anscheinend. Da hast du immer getreten wie ein Irrer. Da war so im 6., 7. Monat mit dir. Das fandst du richtig scheiße. Ja, und jetzt ist das seit 23 Jahren unser Esstisch. So alt bist du jetzt gerade. Das war jetzt die Wohnung, unser Leben, unsere Heimat. So.
Place where I do all of my crafting, my lovely little hobby. It's basically like my own little comfort zone, my place to retreat after a long day. It's just like a little safe haven where I can be creative and I can be just for myself and spend some time with thinking about stuff I want to build, and I'm getting better with these things. This is a fictional Slavic-styled helmet. It's a medieval helmet from early medieval times, which I use for one of my lab characters. Basically, I'm going to measure from the highest point here. I made these paper templates to have like a scale for the sides. Will look like each of these. So I'm gonna cut these forms out of steel. So we will have like these straps filled over with the steel plates. Before I met her, I was a different kind of person, like a different man. She brought me something I couldn't value more enough than I somehow can imagine. Sandra took me to a place that I could first call home, you know? She's the first one I ever was able to cry in front of about things what happened with my mother, and somehow
let me feel like a piece of shit, to be honest. I'm a freak, you know? And I've been a freak from the beginning, from all of the beginning. Like, I've been bullied at school 10 years long. I was always like the guy who gets the beating because he's different, and I was never trying to fit in with anybody, and I got to pay for it, like 10 years of my lifetime, with being punched in the face, with being bullied, with being spit on, and all kinds of stuff. After that time of school, I've met a girl which I thought I'd be similar with, because she had like same experiences. But after the first year, it was clear that this relationship wasn't going to work.
We had a really rough time because were separating from our partners at the same time. And so he was with me and my dad in our little house. He slept right here. At this time I felt like maybe a little bit unimportant because I was just a little girl broken up with her first love, and everything it's normal, heartbreak hurts, yeah, it's like that. But my brother were just like, yeah, I understand you, I feel the same, I take you serious, I know what you mean, I'm here for you, I'm listening to you. And he made me feel grown.
I knew Sandra before, 2 years before I cut my relationship with my ex-girlfriend.
It was on a LARP. We are into costumes. He have a very nice smile and a very good laughing. And after the event, he added me on Facebook. And then I see how old he is. And then it was, oh, he's 8 years younger than me.
Where the lockdown was over, where the rules or the restrictions in Germany were like a little bit more flat, we just had an appointment to go hiking.
It was pretty fun. We have very nice conversations, talking about all and nothing, and have a great day and say, yeah, we must do it again. Time
after time, I fell in love with her, and at a time where we were in a place that she was very familiar with, I said to her, all right, I can't hide it anymore, I fell in love with you. And she actually left the room crying and crying to her friend. But she said yes. From that day on, we lived together.
We both are not the easiest people. I think we have both a little bit of character that other people think, oh, it's crazy. But I love it that I can be myself when I be with Paul together. Before Paul, I was a person, for me it was very important that other people likes me. It was a little masquerade. This person and I am more still not so crazy and be more quiet, and there another person I trying to look very intelligent. It was very hard to be myself the whole time. I'm free for me, and I'm free what I'm talking, I'm free what I'm doing, and I know Paul is by my side.
It's not about acceptance, it's about understanding. It's about understanding a character like me who is probably pretty rare around this world. Not because I'm special in any way, or not because I'm like pretty cool guy or something like that. I'm a normal man, I'm trying to find myself, I'm trying to find my place in the world, and she seems to see that and to acknowledge that, and to be able to feel with me.
used to be a craftsman, yes. I used to be a helping hand kind of, but that didn't mean to me. The only thing that meant to me was to be a musician, concerts, doing recordings in the studio. These other jobs, they never meant to me too much, to my heart, never.
He always found a way to, even in the smallest of apartments that he had, found a way to practice, to make music. When I was very, very young, I couldn't really understand how much it really meant to him. But in the same time, as I grow up, I got fascinated with him being so much into his little world of his art. Pretty fascinating to see one being able to just completely give himself into that one thing he loves so much.
I played all my career with 2 broken fingers, but I could make it. But the final injury was so bad. Injured index finger on the left hand, got broken here again. I couldn't put power onto the instrument anymore. That was probably the hardest time in my life. To really say I can't play anymore. Making music, I think, is something that you do with, with your intellectual abilities and so on, but at first with your heart. And if you can't do it anymore, it's like some of the major values of your life is taken away. Loss of my profession causes depressions, which you and your sister had to face, and some helping friends in a bottle, of course, definitely.
The relation between my father and I hasn't been that great until I went like 13, 14. I just couldn't understand why he was the way that he was. I couldn't see the hard work he was going through. I couldn't see the trauma he was going through. I couldn't see the pain he was going through to keep me and my sister somehow fed and happy and care for us and provide. It's not that I am feeling in any way that he screwed up or he did anything wrong. I think he did a great job to keeping himself together and keeping himself alive, and us with him.
It was not just my fingers, as I told it. At first my ears got, so to speak, blown away because of stress. Spoken in medical terms is the frequencies that you don't hear anymore. Your brain is making its own job, so it's blowing up these frequencies, though you don't hear them anymore. What is happening if somebody's having a bunch of keys, like for the car and so on, and he's shaking with it? It would blow my mind. Screaming women, laughing women, kids, with these high screaming kids, and the word was fucking up my ears, and I was running around like a zombie thinking the world is just a monster of sound. Every sound was my personal enemy. When the kids were laughing, about something, I was like, shut your face, because I couldn't take these high frequencies.
When that happened, I was pretty young. I couldn't really understand that sound would hurt somebody. Yes, he explained it to me, or he tried to, but as a kid you forget that sometimes, and you forget it again and again and again, and you laugh too loud, you scream too loud, and then he gets mad at you, and you as a kid, you'll be like, oh, fuck. As I grow up, I started to being able to somehow get a feeling for how he must felt and must have been suffered for so many years. The more I feel for him, the more I get to feel sorry that I wasn't able to be a little more quiet or make him less pain.
If you're getting to a point very close to possibly never playing music anymore, the value of music is getting even bigger. So I had to make a decision. When people invited me for a birthday party or so, or come along, let's have a drink, I would have said, no, I won't. I didn't meet people in 3 years. There was no party, no nothing. Yeah, that was a hard time. And the kids, both of them, had to face me as a sick man, being very nervous and very straight in the sense of shut your face.
I looked up to him every time when I saw that he's still dealing with troubles, with financial troubles, emotional troubles, pain, depression. I mean, he took it. as good as he could, he protected my sister and me from all of that. I'm so proud of him because like every time where he managed to take a joke or laugh himself or have a great evening, even that would be the complete opposite in the next day, but I was proud of him to not let go of that happiness he wears to this day.
How did you manage to take care of your children during you had to face the loss of everything that you love? It's a hard question. I think I didn't do it properly. Taking care of the kids, you and your sister, you and Marie. It is occurring once in a while, and I think, fuck.
He definitely teach me with that to stay strong no matter what's being thrown at you, and it's a good reminder for me every time I come into a situation where I have to push through a thing. Even it's hard when times get rough. Mostly not by directly telling me, but mostly by showing me how it's done. I remember that. I remember him doing exactly that, and remember him doing it from the start to the very end.
Like we say in German, don't put your head in the sand. Wake up at a certain point and continue your life.
There's a thing in Norway. I cracked open a safety hut, like a tourist hut, and there was a big, giant, like brass lock on the door. I took a file from my multi-tool and fired off the rivet that fixed like this cap on the rivet hole, on the keyhole. So I fired that off. I had like a paracord band around my hand, which I had this tied to during the traveling. And when I met Sandra, I somehow decided to give it to her because this thing here, this little object, 2-gram piece of brass, for me it's the greatest symbol of freedom that I ever felt, and the greatest symbol of living life to the fullest. When I was with her, I had the same feeling about the traveling, about what I lived through in Norway, and I felt the same kind of freedom. When I was with her, or when I am with her, I can simply be myself. And this is the sign of the greatest freedom that a man like me could ever experience, and I gave it to her. So after all what happened, after all these years, I guess living in the moment is the right way for me to do things for now, because I can finally say that I'm happy.
So yeah, you guys just don't know what she was talking. You guys don't know.